raise your hand for questions when we get there. Otherwise, right now we'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
I thought we did a tremendous defensive effort, and when we were down late, I thought we made a tremendous effort to get back in it, and we had a couple good shots, and they didn't go in. But it's just a tough loss, as they all are at this time of the year. But that's what happens. Somebody gets beat on the last play, and tonight it was us.
Thank you, Coach. Please raise your hand if you have questions. Please wait for a microphone to get to you. And please give your name and affiliation for our student athletes only. Questions at this time. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Coach Sal Capaccio, ESPN Buffalo.
No, questions only for student athletes at this point.
Student athletes. Sorry. CJ, question for you. With 13 seconds left, you come out of the huddle.
We didn't come out of the huddle.
Okay, with 13 seconds left, can you walk us through what the play was going to be, or how you
We did not have a timeout.
When we got possession of the ball, we just wanted to space the floor and try to penetrate and get a good opportunity, and we missed, so we had to foul after that.
Other questions? Go ahead, Mike.
CJ, Dayton seemed to be playing really physical on defense. Can you talk a little bit about how they were playing you guys, especially in the first half?
They're a small team, but they're scrappy, and they quick to the ball and rotations, and every time you put the ball down, they got a hand in there. So, they kind of set the tone early, and where we was playing catch up. We were trying to catch up the whole game.
Other questions? Go ahead, Mike, and then we'll come over here after that. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Waters with the Syracuse Post-Standard. Baye, you didn't play a lot tonight, but after every timeout, after every huddle, it seemed like you were gathering the guys and talking to them. What were you telling them?
Every time, it doesn't matter I'm on the floor or not, I'm just trying to motivate them and try to get them, make the right play, and we just motivation every single time.
Over here. Go ahead, Mike.
Question for CJ. Talk about the defense that they threw at you early and they kind of threw you off a little bit, but was it different than any other defense you've seen this season? Was it because of their size, or was there anything different about what they did as opposed to what you've seen all season?
No, it's not anything different. It's just we didn't react good to start the game off. We didn't come out aggressive on offensive end, but we kind of got ourselves together, but it was kind of too late. One or two possessions too late.
Any other questions at this time for student athletes from Syracuse? Okay, CJ, bye. Appreciate your time. Questions for Coach Boeheim at this time? Got it.
Adam Bodini, WGRZ Buffalo. Jim, just talk about the night offensively, if you could. I guess under 40% shooting and over 10 from beyond the arc.
Well, in our games that we've lost this year, we haven't shot it particularly well, and tonight was no exception. I thought after the slow start, and particularly in the second half, I thought we were getting, the shots you got to get. We got good shots. The only thing we could make was a layup, and it's not easy to get layups against a good defensive team. And we did. We broke through. CJ got to the basket for 2 or 3. And then the next possession, we settled for a jump shot. And if you're shooting the ball, it's okay. But after 30 minutes, if you figured out you're not making jump shots, I think we needed to keep driving the ball, even though it's hard to do. But, we took 2 or 3 jump shots when we had the lead. And you've got to keep driving it at that stage. And with 13 seconds to go, we wanted to get it to Tyler and drive the ball. We've just driven the ball for 3 baskets, and I don't know why he settled for the jump shot. There was plenty of time. He had space. I'm not sure why. The last shot was a great shot. I mean, that was the right play. Chance to win the game. You don't have enough time to get to the basket.
Right down front here, Mike.
Coach Mike Heim with Associated Press. Seemed looking at your last 4 losses, they've all been, 3 of the 4 are very close games. It seemed like, towards the end of your season, the last month or so, the close games have been the ones that, early in the year, you were able to turn them around. This time, they were kind of biting you a little bit.
Yeah, you're right.
Can you comment on the idea of what had changed in the course of the early part of the season as opposed to the last month or so?
Well, when you make shots, you win. When you don't make shots, you lose in close games. And early in the year, we made shots. Obviously Tyler made a 40-footer at Pittsburgh, but in the other games we won 7 straight close games early in the year, and we made shots. It was different people. Tyler made some, CJ made some, Jeremy Grant made a couple, but we made shots. In tonight's game, we had shots, and we got stops when we had to. Made a couple of great defensive plays down there to get stops. Made a great play on our press to get them to step out of bounds. So we made the defensive plays that we needed to make, plus, but we didn't make a shot when we had to.
And did you feel that Tyler shot at the end that you were due to get that one? I mean, you were 0 for 9 at that point from 3-point. It's almost like you were overdue for it.
There's a lot of guys in Vegas that think that too. They go home with nothing. That was a good shot. I had no problem with that shot. Some of his other jump shots were not good decisions.
Sorry, Coach. Mike.
Coach, Mike Catalano, WHM Rochester. There's going to be a lot of focus, so maybe on what your team did not do. But can you talk about Dayton beating Ohio State down the stretch, beating you guys down the stretch? Talk about what they did so well in these last couple of games.
Well, I'm not going to talk about Dayton. Why would I do that? I'm going to talk about Syracuse. I'm not going to talk about Dayton. Ask their coach. He should be very proud of their team.
Any other questions for Coach Boeheim? Yep, go ahead, Mike.
Jim, seasons always end and seniors graduate, but could you talk a little bit about C.J. Fair and his struggles tonight in his last game?
He struggled early, and he's had some games where he struggled, but he in the second half he got it back and got it going to the basket. But it's very hard to get to the basket against good defensive teams, and Dayton certainly is, and like Pittsburgh in our league, and Clemson, teams that are really good defensively. It's hard to get to the basket, and we had some good looks from the perimeter. CJ had a couple good foul line jump shots that he usually makes. Tyler usually makes some of those. I think he missed 14 jump shots tonight. I think he missed 7 for 7, 7 for 8 going to the basket, and he just couldn't get the jump shot to go. They made a few. They made some threes and some jump shots, a couple tough ones, and I thought we did an unbelievable job fighting to hang in there when you're not making anything. When you're not making anything from the perimeter, it's hard. It's a hard game. I thought, we finally got to the basket. Mike got there, Tyler got there, CJ got there, and but sooner or later to win, usually you got to make something from the perimeter, and you can give Dayton credit, and that's good. But we had some open looks, and we didn't make them. That's really what, pretty much basically what happened. I thought after we get off to a slow start, we were fine. We fought the rest of the game. But, sooner or later, I think you got to make a shot out there to win.
Last one here on the far left, Coach.
Tim Graham from the Buffalo News. Your feelings on frustrations with your team not being able to make shots on one side versus admiration for Dayton's defense on the other. Where would the needle be?
I don't talk about the other team. I mean, everybody in this tournament plays good defense. You can't get here without playing good defense, and they play good defense, as did Ohio State yesterday. But, you know, we've got to be better on offense, and you can give them credit, and I think you should. But I look at the shots that we get. If we don't get shots, and that's happened to us with some teams defensively, I thought we got good shots. You know, I really did. You know, a couple of Tyler's jump shots, really all of his jump shots were pretty good. He was open, he got them, he just wasn't making them, you know, and that happens. But, you know, you look at the quality of shots, and I thought once we started driving it, I thought we got shots we really needed to get. I mean, you know, we missed a couple layups, Rock missed one. I mean, we missed a couple easy shots around the basket. That happens. But overall, you know, it's very hard to win making layups, and that's all you're making against a good defensive team. That's very difficult to do, and you know, at some point in time, you know, you need to knock something down from the perimeter, and we didn't. You know, it was just not a good offensive game for us, and you know, and you can give credit to the defense in that case too, and our defense was good. But,
how much does coaching become psychological on nights when the shots aren't falling, as opposed to X's and O's?
Well, you just try to drive the ball. That's all you can do in those situations, and we did. We tried to just drive the ball, and we finally did. We got probably 8, 9, 10 layups in the second half because we did drive the ball. But it's hard to get enough to do that. And if the other team makes 5 or 6 threes, and you make 5 or 6 layups, you're 6 points down. And so that really was, you know, what I saw out there tonight, pretty much.
Thank you, Coach. Mm-hmm.